Welcome to the review of Star Trek Prodigy season one, right? Season 1, episode 14. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. It was like, yeah, Janeway is gonna be after them.
Yep.
Yeah, there's gonna be a miscommunication kind of thing.
There always is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's just hope she doesn't end up blowing up their ship before everything gets settled.
Yeah, and the problem with them is they're kids. So instead of going up there and talking to them and trying to explain things,
Yeah.
they ran. Because if they explained things, they could have been like, the ship that you think we stole, we did steal, we sort of stole it, but it wasn't really stolen.
It's more of
Stolen because we found it in the middle of a asteroid thingy that we were being a slave on, and then we used it to escape slavery. But then you know what I mean. But
we liberated it.
Huh?
Dex says we liberated it.
Liberated it, yes. And that's exactly how they'd sound because they're kids and kids ramble like that. But they would explain, like, we didn't mean to blow up the thing, but the ship is cursed or something, and if you try to communicate with your ship, it will blow up your ship and cause your ship to blow itself up. So we stashed it away until you guys can look at it because we don't want to kill anybody. We just want to join Starfleet.
Fair enough. And then after, they had that talk, it's like, okay. So we'll just move the proto drive from this ship into a new one and call it good.
Yeah. Well, they also have to do a purge to try to make sure that there's none of the...
That's true.
Yeah. Because otherwise it might be,
Yeah.
might just be carried over.
Ugh. Is it Janko?
Yeah, Jacob.
Jacob. I feel sorry for him. It's like, oh yeah, no, you're the short kind. You're nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh. So it turns out Star Trek turns out some aliens in Star Trek are kind of racist. Or is it racist? I mean, they're still the same species. But yeah, sizist. I'll give it that. Poor soul. Oh, it's memory. Her father is slowly getting back his memory, or else he has it back and he's just faking it. Kind of hard to tell with him. But I have a feeling that Janeway doesn't fully trust him, which is good. Oh, I wonder if Dex, right?
That dude from the space station didn't help their case much.
No, yeah.
Like, they were bandits, they were terrible monsters, blah blah blah.
You didn't mention they were kids.
And then when they finally corner them, Janeway's like, they were kids. They were vicious children. They were kids.
Well, vicious kids. I forget his name because he's a new character, but I wonder if they're new friend is gonna be staying long.
Oh, I forget his name.
The smuggler dude.
Yeah. Actually, if I remember correctly, he was a reference from another series.
Oh.
Hold on. I don't remember.
They're
Their
Han
Han
Solo.
Solo.
Hopefully it's a Han Solo, not some bad guy.
Or worse, just one of those running away.
Yeah.
For both the Federation and the Romulans.
Well, I mean, not the Romulans yet, because the Romulans don't know they're in the neutral zone yet. They haven't been caught yet. I should say yet. There's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. Damn, like, okay, so that makes me think, okay. So so the Federation, I'm guessing it's like pretty big. Like it has like a couple hundred planets underneath its belt, I'm guessing. Or at least a couple dozen.
It has hundreds.
Hundreds. Okay. They're that big. How big are the Romulans if they pose a threat?
Well, the Romulans don't so much pose a threat to the Federation at large. The Klingons did. And the Klingons are one planet, but it's not so much they pose a threat in the way that, you know, it's more the Romulans pose a threat to whoever is in their presence. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay.
It's kind of like, hey, those guys are our grumpy neighbors, so let's just leave them alone.
And not spray them with the water hose.
Yeah, they're not gonna like wipe out the entire the entire like Federation, but at the same time they're not they're also not gonna, they're not gonna be very fun.
Yeah. See.
And with the Khitomer Accords in place, Klingons would gladly help the Federation wipe them out.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds about right.
The Khitomer Accords are the peace treaty, are basically the Treaty of Versailles, but for Klingons and Federation.
About Klingons, it's weird. Like, as I know, Klingons love fighting. Like, it's what they're born for. Why in the hell would they sign a peace treaty?
Because they realize that peace is, first of all, they don't just live for a war. They are warriors, but they fight for honor.
Ah.
They're based after the Vikings.
I can take that.
So when you think of them, think kind of Viking.
Fair enough.
So,
Space Vikings.
They're space Vikings.
And at one point, they went through a phase where they looked completely terrible. That makeup job, dear God.
Oh my gosh. Are you talking about the ones from Discovery?
Yes. Complete with drinking songs.
Get better. Huh?
Complete with drinking songs.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I would like to know what a Klingon space shanty would sound like.
Look it up on YouTube. There are lots of versions.
Oh my god.
They show up a lot. That's actually where I found out about Voltaire, the artist.
Oh, nice.
The singer, because I was looking up Klingon drinking songs on LimeWire back in the day.
God, I feel old now.
And I found Klingon rap. God, I gotta look this up. So I downloaded it, and I'm like, bruh. So I went and I bought his like entire discography. I mean, I looked up a few other songs as well, just to make sure it wasn't a one-off and that I actually liked his shit.
Oh yeah, no, I like all the songs.
That's what LimeWire was for. It was before YouTube. LimeWire was what you used to see if you liked something before you bought it.
Oh yeah, no.
And then
Agreed.
I found out that there was something different called Cabaret Voltaire, and one of their songs was "Why Kill Time When You Could Kill Yourself."
Words to live by.
That was one of their songs, and I'm like, what the hell? And it was absolute shit. But the title stuck with me after all these decades.
Damn.
Hey, it's not just Kailash battles and Kailash battling. Sometimes they even have, Honor and Stovacor.
Think about like the Star.
Huh?
I was saying, think about like the Star Trek species and stuff. I wonder like the Klingons have any holidays, like something similar to Christmas.
I think they do have holidays. I don't think there's anything similar to Christmas. But I'm sure I know they have holidays. I just don't remember.
They're like a holiday called Glarkanark. Oh, God, why is every time I'm about to say a name, it instantly leaves my head? Slime creature can now walk.
Huh? Oh, you're talking about Murph.
Murph, yes. Murph can now walk.
Yes.
And I have a feeling in a couple episodes, Murph can talk.
I don't know. No spoiler.
I know you know.
The guy you were talking about was Thadian O'Connor.
No wonder I didn't remember it.
He goes by O'Connor usually. He was from Next Generation originally.
Oh. I wonder if he's like the same character or they completely refreshed him.
Well, according to Memory Alpha, he's only played by Billy Campbell, so it looks like it's the same guy.
Oh. I'm wondering, how long do you think that spaceship was missing for?
Oh! He was in Lower Decks, too. At the command conference after party. He was the DJ at the command conference after party.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? That's awesome. I love those little things that you don't even notice. They're so like obscure. But then when you do, you're like, dude.
Awesome. But I don't really know. How long do you think that the protostar was missing for?
Well, keep in mind the protostar went forward in time. So it was actually missing for longer than it was missing.
Oh yeah.
So Chakotay was held captive with his crew for a while before they managed to escape. Send the protostar back in time.
I wonder if there's gonna be like time travel in this.
So,
I mean, where the kids like go forward into time.
and then it went back in time. So it was actually missing before it was launched.
Oh,
If that makes
makes
so
sense.
it went to the future, was there for a while, was sent back to protect it, and it was sent back too far, and so it was buried for 20 years before it was even launched. So at this point, we're not sure how long it was missing from a linear time frame, but it was missing over 20 years from a nonlinear protostar perspective.
In other words, that guy is definitely dead.
Chakotay?
Yeah.
No,
Maybe.
because he's still in the future.
Oh. Yeah, so the kids are definitely gonna go into the future then. Maybe.
I don't know what's going to happen next season.
Next season on Space Soup.
What?
I don't know. You know, Space Soup. Oh, I thought something. So, the replicators, right? They have like things like programmed to them, so they can like type something in and you know, get like a hot dog or whatever, because you know it's like programmed in there. Imagine like a completely new alien comes up to it and it's like, this doesn't have any of my food for my planet.
Then they can program it in.
I know. There's like saying at first, it's like, okay, well, can you like describe this food? It's like, it's pink. And it screams.
It screams.
I don't know, because they ask, you know, it's like, no, it's like, no, it's really furry. It's like roundish, ballish shape. Wait, is your food a tribble? It's like, yes. It's like, no.
Yeah, they were actually wiped out. And for very good reason.
Wait, are tribbles actually wiped out?
In the original timeline, yes. In the original timeline, the Klingons wiped out the Tribbles. They destroyed the Tribble homeworld. They wiped them out of existence. But then, dumbass Garrick and Odo, when they went back in time in Trials and Tribulations, picked one up because he thought it was cute.
Oh.
And so it infested the promenade.
I mean, I would have like.
So as to whether they're completely wiped out now, one would assume. But I mean, everybody thought they wiped out bed bugs in the 60s, and then you know.
I didn't know that.
Then they legalized the most effective way of killing it because it was apparently unhealthy. So
I mean, I would have like kept the planet and make it like a no-fly zone because I highly doubt tribbles have space travel.
no, they are infestations. Vile, disgusting little infestations that need to be wiped out of existence. Sorry, the Klingon in me is shooting through again.
They're like bunnies on steroids.
I know, I hate bunnies.
Think of more of it. It's the only way to be sure.
Yes.
No. I just imagine, right? Like they blow up the planet, right? But what they did not know is that tribbles can survive the vacuum of space, so they just get exploded everywhere and land on other planets. It's like, oh dear God, what have we done? We have brought the apocalypse. I mean, at least you can probably eat tribbles. Maybe. Yeah. Let's see what else for this glorious episode. There should really be such thing as space. Make fashionable wigs at least. That's true. Let's see. There should be such thing as a space payphone, so they can just take a payphone, call up Starfleet, to say, "Hey, yeah, we got your spaceship, etc., blah blah blah."
That's what I was saying. They should have just gone to gone to Jane. Well, they tried to go to Janeway, but then they were afraid of getting arrested or whatever because of the whole blowing up the shuttle. But I mean the station. But
technically, it attacked itself.
it did, and it wasn't the kids' fault that their ship that they didn't realize that the ship they were on was a plague.
Not the smartest plague either, because it also tried attacking itself.
Yeah, but I mean the whole point of it was to
Oh, I know.
wipe out the Federation.
But it would have been kind of funny though. It's like wipes out the space station, wipes out the ship. End of series. Like, oh, okay.
Well, I don't know, because even without the ship, the series can go on because it's not called the Star Trek Protostar.
Oh no, I was kind of implying that the kids died too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, okay, there's no, because that guy used the last of the escape pods.
Yeah. I love what that guy was, such a coward. It's like,
it was.
I will. I'm just gonna leave you guys here. You freaking monsters. Oh man, it was a massive gang of these terrible rogues. They're pirates, I swear. They were like 6 feet tall, all of them.
I mean, one of them technically was.
One of them is, but one of them is also like 3 feet tall, so.
Oh, one of them's like 2-ish feet?
Oh yeah, Murph.
Oh, that's kind of zero. Kind of hard to tell how tall they are since they float.
Exactly. You can't really tell with zero. They don't really count.
Yeah.
Like with height, because they can be as tall or as short as they want. Plus their legs, for want of a better word, change size too. So.
Okay, something just came to mind. I might be overthinking it. I probably am. But okay, so it makes sense that the evil virus thing hacked the outpost, and did its thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are outposts not like connected to the rest of like Starfleet?
Not normally. They are connected when they want to be, but like it's kind of like you have your cell phone and you can talk to whoever you want, but you're not constantly talking to everybody.
Okay.
It's not a hive mind situation. It's
Well,
I
I
have
kind of
access to Starfleet and I could call Starfleet if I want to, but I'm not going to call them every 5 minutes. They're going to be annoyed and send me even further out.
well, I kind of thought it was like a thing like this. Like for example, like to bring up the cell phone thing. So even like when you're not connected to a Wi-Fi network, your phone is still sending out a signal looking for the Wi-Fi network.
Well,
So like
yeah,
even though they're not like using it.
it's not always putting out a signal. Mine is always turned off my Wi-Fi.
Ah,
I have unlimited data, so
yeah, same here.
why bother with Wi-Fi?
That's
It just wastes your battery.
that's true. And that's good at least. 'Cause that would have really said go to an outpost since it signaled like do 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 do.
But even with that Wi-Fi association, you don't automatically connect to anything that you're in the vicinity of.
Yeah, true.
Each
No,
Starfleet thing is separate, and that separate is what causes
no, I
the
mean I just thought there's like something that like even though they're not like connected, they're like in standby mode with each other.
yeah, no, they're not like linked up like that. The
Ah,
outposts, especially that far out, they need to send a subspace signal to reach Starfleet, and then Starfleet won't be there for a while, which is why Janeway, who was in the vicinity, still was a few days behind them.
ah. Wait, don't ships have warp drive or whatever it's called?
They do.
Damn, that must be really far then.
Space is big. Also, do you know what a warp drive does?
Bend space and tire, yada yada yada.
It basically is like it turns the universe into a slinky. It warps the gravitational fields around it to make the distance shorter.
Convenient.
So instead of going like basically it's the difference between walking that distance and jumping the distance. So while it is faster, it's not an automatic you're on the other side of the cosmos, which is why Voyager took 7 years, which technically took more than that because all the time in between episodes, blah blah blah, but you know what I mean.
Fair enough.
Which is why originally it was supposed to take 70 years because but then they kept cutting it down, and then the last episode Admiral Janeway went back in time in order to anyway. Point is, space is big, and this is all just our galaxy. This is all just in the Milky Way. We haven't even dealt with extra galactic stuff. They did on Discovery, but we haven't dealt with that. They also did on TOS.
Terms of service.
Huh?
When you said TOS, the thing that came to mind automatically was terms of service.
Oh, you see, whenever I see TOS in writing like terms of service, my first thought is the original series. Because I'm a fucking Trekkie. But they dealt
Those old scientists.
They dealt with the galactic barrier in Discovery, the original series, and in one of the Q books, which is technically 3 of the Q books because it was a 3-part book. It was like 3 books. But that one was really good. Anyways, called Q squared. Well, one of them was called Q squared.
Why have they not thought to make a show that's just Q messing with
Because
people.
because it would be kind of boring after a while. And I love Q when I'm saying that. First of all, they can't do it now because Q's old and that's a lot of makeup. Which is why
hasn't stopped them before.
Which is why in Picard they at the very first scene Q was in, he's like, "Oh, let me catch up," and he aged himself to a more appropriate age to match Picard's, which basically was first scene he was in makeup, second scene he wasn't. You know, he flashed out of makeup to make it, you know, so that they didn't have to put him in constant makeup and CG for the entire series.
Fair enough.
But that's all I'll say about that in case you guys want to watch Picard at some point.
I might at some point. I'm surprised Dex hasn't watched it yet.
It's behind a paywall and he refuses.
No, I feel that.
I mean, that's what a VPN and like Netflix is for.
I pretty much canceled all my subscriptions to save money. When you are a die, unemployment problems becomes more trivial. Yeah, that's true. Oh no! I don't want like a series where, you know, he's trying to go through stuff. I just want a series where he's going to like different people.
Basically Jackass or whatever, one of those punk shows. But
on today's episode, I turned this planet into Jello.
Yeah, but first of all, Q doesn't do that. He doesn't really abuse his powers that often. And most of the times that he was involved in Star Trek, he was not causing trouble. He made it look like he was causing trouble, but in the long run, I really can't think of any where he wasn't doing it to teach a lesson of some sort. Which, granted, that is partly because of the allegorical nature of Star Trek, but also because he was just, it's kind of like, you know, when you have a pet and you do silly things with your pet, but it's all because you care, supposedly. I don't know. My friend dresses up their cat, and personally I think it's just torture, but you know, they say it's because they love her. So my point is, he's not abusing his powers in a ha 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 way. He's abusing his powers in a now what did you learn way. Take, for example, Encounter at Farpoint, the very first episode he's in, and the very first episode of TNG. He is getting Starfleet to save that jellyfish alien that was being used as a space station. Like, the inhabitants had captured this jellyfish, let it feed on the geothermal energy, and in exchange, it made stuff for them. And so they were abusing it. Like, make me this, make me that. But we're feeding it. And so Starfleet didn't realize that. They were going to let the guys join up in join the Federation and be like, yeah, go ahead. And Q's like, excuse me? Y'all gonna let that poor little jellyfish alien thing be tortured? Not on my watch.
He cares.
He does. He doesn't like to show it, but he cares. And yes, there were occasions where he supposedly tortured species, but we only ever see one instance like on screen where he's torturing a creature or about to torture a creature, and that was in kind of revenge because they were attacking him when he was stuck as human in Q Who. So, you know.
I mean, yeah, I would too.
You
It's
know,
like, hey, remember me?
supposedly it was because he supposedly it was because he was torturing them, but we never see that on screen. We see them going after the ship and Q sacrificing himself to save the Enterprise. But, you know, the you know, he takes the shuttle so that they chase the gaseous monster chases him instead of the Enterprise. And that act of repentance is what allows the Q to give him back his powers. And so he's like, wait, I got my powers back? Yes. Now come here, you little bastards. That's basically what he did. It's like, you want to fuck around now? And then the other Q's like, who is played by Corbin Bernsen, who played Sean Spencer's dad in Psych, by the way.
Nice.
He's like, and so Q's just like, just kidding. But, you know, that's the only time we ever see him actually on, we ever see him on screen actually fucking around with an alien just for the sake of fucking around.
I see that.
Even the other most trivial instance, Cupid, he was, you know, doing a favor to Picard for Picard helping him out. He that's the episode where he turned everybody into a Robin Hood correlation, where Picard was Robin Hood and Geordi was, what was the bard one's name? But so Geordi was like sitting there strumming the little ukulele thing.
See, Little John?
No, not Little John. That was Worf.
Friar Tuck?
No, not Friar Tuck. That was Data.
I'm not a merry man, Worf.
Yeah. Worf says, I am not a merry man.
I'm trying to remember all the Robin Hood characters. They've just been so long.
I don't remember his name. The name of the I don't remember the name of the bard guy in the Disney Robin Hood version. It was the chicken. You know, ooda lolly, golly, what a day.
Yeah.
I still don't remember his name though, but
yeah, it doesn't come to mind.
So he's like sitting there, Geordi is sitting there strumming it. Worf grabs it and smashes it over a rock and gives it back. He's like, sorry, I am not a merry man. Giant chicken. You're not a bard, you're a chicken, boo. But we all know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So Q he doesn't involve himself just to play pranks. He involves himself to do something important. I mean, Q Jr. for a while involved himself just to fuck around, but he was a kid. He was a teenager. So of course he was going to act like a teenager.
Pranks are a bonus.
Yes.
Let's see, back tab.
and totally my headcanon is that the Squire of Trelane is Q Jr. I know a lot of people were like, oh, it's Q, but I'm like, no, it's Q Jr. Before Q got pissed off and like, you know what? I'm gonna send you to your Aunt Kathy. Q Jr. was fucking around because I mean, if you think about it, even in the episode, Junior's like, you're the drone with a Kirk fixation. I mean, he might have been a lowly human, but at least Kirk had pizzazz. And the way he talked about him was as if he knew him, which he might have done. Plus, at the end of the episode, the Squire of Trelane actually, or Squire of Gothos, whatever, his parents came to yell at him because he was fucking around with the Enterprise. So it's basically, it was Q Jr. who got in trouble with his parents. And he's like,
You are lowercase q. I am capital Q.
Actually, in the book, that's how they differentiate him.
I guess the only time you can get away without capitalizing somebody's name.
Yeah. In the book, IQ, written in part by John Delancey himself. It's a great story, by the way. Q is trying to stop the end of the universe. His wife and child got sucked up in this vortex of the end of the universe apocalypse. Basically, somebody pulled the plug and everything starts draining out.
Oh, shit.
And
So you can't just like snap his fingers and like, okay, it's fixed.
nope, because he does not have any power in that apocalypse zone.
Damn.
And as they're working through the story, it's basically an allegory for the 5 stages of grief. And when he meets his son is all grown up now, because this takes place before Q2, by the way. And it has no Janeway in it, it's Picard. And Picard and Data are there to help Q rescue his family. And his son is in the bargaining stage. And anytime he writes about his son, it's little Q with a lowercase q.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
It really is. And when they get sucked up, they were on the bottom of the ocean doing deep sea fishing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It really is. It is a good book.
So you got anything more on this episode?
No, I don't know.
What about you, Dex?
Nope.
Okay, let me scan my mind real quick. I got nothing. So I think I'll call that good. Thank you for watching, everybody. See you next week. Aw.
Yep.